If you follow basketball even remotely closely, you know LeBron James the past 5 years has made it abundantly clear. In the future in the NBA, he wants to play alongside his son, Bronny James. And he's even gone as far as saying, whatever team gets Bronny, he's going to. And when it comes to Bronny James for the longest time, he was looked at as a mid-tier late lottery pick in 2024. As in high school, he was a 5-star prospect and McDonald's All-American. And before this year started, many said Bronny James indeed was a lottery pick and a clear one and done at USC. Now, unfortunately for Bronny, his freshman year hasn't gone like he would have hoped. As from the field, under 40%, from 3, under 30%, and is hovering around 5 points per game. And looking at his USC team, which coming into the year was ranked number 21, right now are the worst team in the Pac-12, a conference that itself is not great. And look, to give benefit of the doubt, Bronny James in the future might be a good player, even a great player. But at this point in time in 2024, he's far from a lottery pick, a one and done, or even a first round pick this season. And when it comes to pressure, hype, becoming overrated, I mean, it was from day one everyone knew this guy was going to have tons of hype and immense pressure. But here's the thing, LeBron James in his own right hasn't helped this kid in the slightest, as numerous times has made unnecessary comments boosting him up despite his play being average at best. I mean, last year, March 26, 2023, nearly a year ago, he said Bronny James at that point was better than some NBA players, it was lightweight, and he was definitely better than some of these cats. Now here's the deal, if you don't want to put pressure on Bronny James, your son, undue pressure, why would you tweet this out? Saying him as an 18, 19-year-old is better than professional players. If you're looking to put pressure on someone who's already very hyped up, that right there is Exhibit A of how to do so. And when it comes to the average sports fan, I think we kind of forget the gap between NBA player, G League player, and random college player averaging 5 points per game. Each of those gaps is a Grand Canyon-sized gap. I mean, for example, Mac McClung was a very good college player. In the G League, ranked 6th in scoring at just under 25 points per game. Mac McClung, till this date, has played a total of 4 NBA games. The sheer task of making the NBA, getting on a roster, a two-way contract, is damn near impossible. Now, looking back at Bronny, of course, before the season started, he had a cardiac incident that he barely survived. I mean, the fact he's playing basketball somehow didn't miss a single game, that in itself is a miracle. And if you want to blame his lackluster play at USC on that cardiac incident, that's more than fair. But here's my problem. Even with Bronny not playing great, having high expectations, having the cardiac incident, LeBron this January of 2024, said yet again Bronny could play on his current Lakers team. Having tweets like these, sound bites like these, is setting this guy up for absolute failure. And keep in mind, this was after the cardiac incident. And looking past Bronny James, a classic LeBron James passive-aggressive quote, not only boosting up Bronny, but also taking major shots at his teammates. I mean, Bronny at this point isn't playing over Max Christie or even Skylar Mays. And going one step further, again, LeBron's hypocrisy. Just yesterday, he tweeted out, "Can you guys stop talking about this kid, let him be a kid, enjoy college basketball?" And saying when it's all said and done, the work in the offseason will decide how good he is, and mock drafts, they don't matter. Now look, if that was LeBron's only tweet about Bronny James, that would be fine and a great tweet. But here's the thing, LeBron numerous times in the past has hyped him up, said he could play in the NBA, and was better than a lot of the cats in the league today. With that added context, this tweet, it just screams hypocrisy. As when it comes to hype getting buzz, you can't take the good and ignore the bad. And here's the sad reality. Bronny James coming this year had tons of hype for the media, fans, and especially LeBron James. And so far, hasn't lived up to it. And look, I'm not some college basketball fanatic, crazy USC fan, or an NBA scout. But when it comes to Bronny James' hype as of late, I thought for the most part this guy was kind of in the shadows and flying low. It wasn't until LeBron's tweet that Bronny yet again was brought back out into the spotlight. I think most fans give this kid the benefit of the doubt. Had a cardiac incident, had a bad season. Come back next year of sophomore year, improve, get better, then declare for the draft. It's really not that complicated and not that big a deal that he wasn't a one and done. But the unintentional comedy of LeBron's tweet, saying fans, media members should let Bronny do his work in peace. The irony of that statement, the comedy of that statement, is LeBron tweeting this out brought much more of a media storm than Bronny already had. And I can virtually guarantee you, ESPN First Take, Undisputed, really any sports channel in the universe, tomorrow talk about Bronny James 24/7. This right here is a classic case of LeBron James shooting himself in the foot. And unfortunately for LeBron James, he's got a full clip and an itchy trigger finger. And we're looking at trends for LeBron James as of late. Shooting himself in his own foot has been very, very common. I mean, the 2022 tweet when the Lakers got Russ had an old roster. That is the chef's kiss of LeBron shooting himself in the foot. As LeBron, in his own words, had the infamous quote of saying, "Keep that same energy." Of course, the Lakers were a dumpster fire, missed the playoffs, and LeBron himself didn't keep that same energy. When it comes to garnering hype, hyping yourself up, you can't take the good and ignore the bad. If you want to hype yourself up, be prepared when you fail, lose, or fall. Fans are going to hold you accountable for your statements and your actions. That's just how it goes. And looking back at Bronny for a second, let's just be honest about this guy. If any other player in the world was a college basketball player averaging 5 points per game on a last place team in their conference with poor shooting splits, they wouldn't be mentioned anywhere. And I can guarantee you 100%, they wouldn't have NBA superstars claiming that specific player could play in the NBA today. But when it comes to LeBron's hypocrisy, time and time again this dude is shooting himself in his own foot with his own words. It's actually kind of baffling. LeBron unprompted has these tweets that months later bite him in the butt. If he just pulled a Kawhi Leonard, a Luka Doncic, a Tatum, just didn't talk, a lot of LeBron slander, a lot of LeBron getting clowned, it wouldn't happen. And what I hope we don't end up with is a Zaire Wade 2.0 situation. As Dwayne Wade's kid, this guy was a D1 player, would have been a pretty decent college player, 4 to 5 year career, maybe an NBA player. But for some reason, he felt pressure to go pro, declared for the draft, didn't get drafted, then went to the G League and flamed out. And since then, Zaire Wade hasn't been heard from. That is the worst case scenario for Bronny James, declaring too early. Give this guy 2-3 years, even 4. Let him polish his game, mature, and then eventually he can be an NBA player. Simple as that. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.